Oh, right. Enough of that serendipitous music, that tranquil music, the tranquility music. But yeah, welcome back, guys. I am finally back with the live streams. I'm really glad that I'm back. Actually, let's make sure my audio is working here. Let me just click a few things here. Let me make sure I'm listening to this correctly. Okay, the playback is perfect. Okay. So, I have a few things that I want to go over today. Specifically, what I've stated in the description box already. So if you guys have not read the description box, make sure you guys do that first. Hold on, let me close my office door. Alright, so basically today it wasn't too much of anything. The only thing that occurred today was, oh whoa, wait a second, before I talk more, thank you guys for 6 likes. God damn. Or 7 likes now. Holy cow, you guys are really awaiting my return. I gotta make it sound epic, you know. Hey, I see all those hearts. Thank you guys. Thank you. All right, let's see if we can get to 10 likes, I guess, tonight. But as I was saying, again, thank you guys so much for the likes. That's amazing to see. I didn't even begin yet, so thank you guys. So with the overall markets, as I've already explained yesterday or on Sunday evening, I specifically said that the markets will be finding a lot of low volume days, right? There's gonna be some low volume, but also volatility will be crunched, and so that's exactly what occurred today, where the S&P 500 or SPY came up to retest the daily 21 SMA a couple days ago, and then it retook that daily 21 SMA, excuse me, and closed over it yesterday. And when this occurred, I immediately knew that we should be continuing up higher to retest the daily 10 SMA, my red line here. All right, so let's actually zoom in a little bit closer. So what occurred here was that the price was kind of magnetically attracted towards this daily 10 SMA. And it used it as an area of SMA resistance, and that's when we got that nice high of the day rejection, and we continued to move lower and lower and lower. Now, gotta drink some water here. Hey, 8 likes now. Holy crap! Welcome, guys. Welcome. Let's make sure we can get to 10 likes here. Awesome. So, and yes, I see you guys' little reactions there. Thank you guys. Thank you. So, so with the S&P 500 here, we did end up on a nice red day. And so far, it seems like we're about to get a nice push lower. And the reason why is that, well, if you take a look at the overnight futures market, okay, futures is currently down. Right, we actually opened with a nice gap down, and we continue to push lower, and it looks like this very small consolidation that we saw, that we've been seeing since last Friday. And if you guys remember in yesterday's video, which I also have linked down below in the description box, so make sure you guys go ahead and take a look at that after this live. But I also mentioned that there is this drop off in volume after that nice push lower on Thursday and Wednesday. And on futures specifically, we saw the volume practically going lower and lower, especially today. So again, low volume days and market volatility being crunched and being crushed downward again. And if you guys didn't know, if you take a look at VIX, you can clearly see that today. And so the thing that really moved the markets overnight and after hours today was big tech earnings, okay? Specifically Tesla and Google. So both Tesla and Google, they didn't have too much of a huge beat, especially Tesla, and even with Google, they barely beat the estimations by Wall Street analysts. And so overall, the sentiment is a bit bleak. There isn't too much going on. I would say it's a bit moving towards the negative side for earnings, as we literally begin the zenith point of the earnings season as we head into more of the bigger and more important big tech earnings reports. And so I believe next week we also have Amazon, if I remember. So we have Amazon and Netflix, if I remember. Oh no, that's next week, right? So Amazon and Apple come in on the very first week of August, and I think you know, as we head into the zenith point in the overall markets, especially with a very bleak start to the zenith point of the earnings season here, it seems like we're trying to continue to move lower as we head into earnings season. Now, ideally for me, I would have loved to see a more of a breakout move to the upside as we head into, you know, Amazon and Apple's earnings, which are literally more important than any other big tech earnings, especially Apple. And if you guys don't know why, well, you guys should know why. And if you guys don't know why, make sure you guys ask me in the live chat. I'll give you the answer, but I think it's a general answer that everyone knows by now. So I'm not gonna say anything about that. But so as we head into the first week of August and obviously the end of this month, I would have ideally loved to see some sort of a move up higher and kind of at least retest the previous all-time high area. So for SPY futures here, so around like 5,720-ish. Okay, that would have been nice. Or on SPY, it would have been great to see at least a retest of 560 to around 561.50-ish. Okay, I mean that range doesn't really matter. You guys can change it from like 561 to 560.50 if you guys want. It doesn't really matter as long as we can see a retest of at least around the highs that we saw on the day where we saw a nice big gap down, which was on July 17th, which was last Wednesday. And so this is kind of where the market is eventually topped out so far, and based on the overnight futures price action, due to the fact that we've had such a overall slightly negative sentiment towards earnings reports on Google and Tesla, there is a good chance that we can continue to move lower tomorrow. And so that means that I most likely, in hindsight now, I should have gotten more puts on SPY. I should have opened more puts to downside, since I have already taken profits on that phenomenal move to the downside that we saw in the past 3 trading days that we saw here, right? However, obviously, again, hindsight is 2020. I couldn't have known if Google and Tesla earnings reports were going to be positive, right? Because that totally could have happened. That really could have happened, right? It's a 50-50 situation here whenever it comes with whenever we're talking about earnings reports. It's a complete binary event. And so tomorrow I'm gonna be doing some damage control. However, now I'm gonna segue into the market shift that is officially happening now. Okay, and this is my official title of the stream. So there isn't gonna be too much damage. Why? Well, I am heavily invested into, drumroll please, IWM, right? Small caps. So small caps have been showing the most ultimate relative strength for the past 2 days, including today. Well, I would say even on Thursday and Friday, we were seeing some very good relative strength, especially Friday, because that is the day where I entered my longer term calls. Okay, sorry, I kind of short-circuited there in my brain. And so what I expected to see on IWM, I mean, you guys should know this by now, was a nice push down towards my first previous resistance level at 216, or an area of 216 to 216.50. And so as it pushed up higher and as we retested this and pivoted away, we grabbed those longer dated expiration contracts. And so far we've been doing amazingly well. I believe on all of my separate longer dated expiration contracts, I am officially up, I believe, I think like 50% if I remember. Yeah, so I hit around 48-ish% and ended up with 35% on one position, and the other one I am up, let's see here, let's make sure I say this correctly here. Look at my position here, around 30%. So I am doing pretty well here for IWM. Now overnight, what I really love about this is that you can clearly see this market shift officially occurring, because on Russell 2000 we aren't down that much. Yes, it was a very small open, a small gap down open, but overall it's been staying relatively strong. So to me, this tells me that the Russell 2000 is going to continue to flag out here and possibly make a very nice Momo bull flag. So if you guys don't know what a Momo bull flag is, it's what we call a momentum bull flag, right? It's just a short name that we've kind of invented here, Momo. I don't know who invented it, but everyone says it, so I'm gonna say it too. And that's kind of how the ball gets rolling on those weird names that we tend to say as stock traders, right? So RTY, right? This is the Russell 2000 futures, and so far very, very good strength. Now I wouldn't be surprised tomorrow if the markets continue down lower, and we also start to see the Russell 2000 moving lower as well, as we continue to basically complete this potential ideal Momo bull flag. And so this is exactly what I want to see before we decide to make new higher highs over the previous pivot high point here at 2,287.80. Or if you go back on IWM and translate this specific technical analysis, okay, let's do the same thing here. All right, just very, very quick and crude drawings. My apologies, guys. I'll try to be as accurate as possible. There it is, right? So if you have kind of this similar Momo bull flag forming here, okay. Now before I move on here, right, before I do the same thing that I did with our RTY or Russell 2000 futures, this bull flag or Momo bull flag is very, very important to complete. Why? Because the daily 10 SMA is officially completely caught up to the price. However, we need to see an actual touch of this daily 10 SMA. So back in, well, not back in, but yesterday, we almost got that retest. However, price pivoted away very rapidly because there was a lot of buyers sitting at this 216 whole number level. That's the reason why I was focusing on this 216 level. And so if we do decide to, again, now if we translate what I've officially shown on RTY or Russell 2000 futures, this is what I want to see, right? A completion of this bull flag, right? And so basically, once we get that completion of this bull flag, we will be officially retesting the daily 10 SMA by officially touching it, actual touch of this daily 10 SMA by the price, right? And as we do that, we will continue to stay on top of the daily 10 SMA and eventually break out of this bull flag and eventually head on upwards into new higher highs, breaking over the previous pivot high point sitting at $226.64. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, so I've been rapidly talking so far, so hopefully you guys have been understanding that so far. Okay, I am getting those reactions on the live chat, so that sounds good. Perfect. Getting some hearts, getting some, what is that? Smiley faces, awesome. So I'm pretty sure I could see these reactions live compared to what you guys are seeing on your own screen, because I believe there's like a, I don't know, like a 5-second delay or 10-second delay with the audio and the screen that you guys are watching for the stream. But I do know that the live chat is literally live. There is no buffering there, so I can see your guys' quick responses to my questions. That's awesome. So yeah, so IWM, I am heavily invested in this one on my account, so I am not going to be too worried about any type of really bad damages that I have to deal with, but I am also in Mara, so that one I am definitely going to have to do some damage control there, and also CLSK. I've talked about both of those two names, those two tickers, in yesterday's video, so make sure you guys watch that. That video has been getting some views lately after it was uploaded yesterday, so make sure you guys watch that, right? It's in the description box down below. You guys will see it as the first link. So IWM, I will continue to add on to my longer term positions because I truly believe IWM has the strength, the overall relative strength and overall bullish momentum to completely forget about what the overall leaders and overall markets are doing, like the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. Okay, so again, IWM very, very strong. There's a complete market shift that is literally confirmed to be happening with this type of price action. I mean, even just today, IWM was up over 1% and closed over 1%, precisely at 1.06%, while all the while SPY and NASDAQ were down today. So SPY was down negative 0.16%, while QQQ on the other hand was also simultaneously down negative 0.35%. And so now both of these two overall markets or market caps are going to be down tomorrow at market open, most likely, if these overnight losses are held. So NASDAQ and SPY will continue to see some relative weakness, and most likely tomorrow, guys, my daily 10 and daily 21 estimates, especially for NASDAQ or QQQ, will have that official bearish cross to the downside, and at some point we will be retesting the daily 50 SMA or this dark blue line for QQQ. And now if I translate that analysis over to SPY, it's going to be the same case, same situation if it loads here. So SPY officially needs to break below the daily 21 SMA, and I truly believe we'll see that by open tomorrow, since I do believe we'll be seeing a small or rather large gap down, maybe around 550 or even 551, or relatively sized gap down, and we'll be officially below the daily 10 and daily 21 SMAs at the same time. And eventually, as the price consolidates around 550, because I still believe that we can still hold 550, we'll be slowly making lower lows and lower highs until we're back within. Again, I'm gonna state this again. This 10-point range between 540 and 550. And so we'll move lower and lower and lower as we head into August and even into end of August, and eventually we'll have to retest the daily 50 SMA, just like I've said for QQQ. And eventually we'll just move sideways and find some sort of an intermittent bottom around at the end of August as we head into September, where we will find a bit more bullish sentiment and bullish momentum as we head into, again, our first rate cut. Okay, so I talk about all of this in my video that I uploaded yesterday, so make sure you guys watch that by clicking the very first link in the description box down below. Okay, I talked really slowly there, so make sure you guys are doing that. All right, so again, there is that complete market shift that has been confirmed. Well, basically it's been confirmed, but we got that extra layer of confirmation today when we saw IWM completely overruling and overperforming the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. Right now, as all of this is happening, if you guys remember, whenever the markets, overall markets like the S&P 500 or NASDAQ become very weak, what occurs? Okay, whenever we do see, again, I'm going to ask a question again. Whenever we see the overall markets being very, very weak, what tends to occur? Well, we tend to see these very trash names, very beaten down names having, well, it's kind of an abrupt, all of a sudden, relative strength and very bullish momentum. Why? Because people become very bored, or they start to pull out their money from market leaders and they start looking for very, very big laggards. And one of those tickers that have really performed well today compared to overall market leaders and just the overall markets was FIGS, ticker symbol FIGS. And this name, if you take a look at the monthly time frame, my god, this looks horrible. The monthly has been completely beaten down to a pulp since its IPO days back in 2021. And so far, this FIGS ticker has seen lower lows and lower highs and has seen consistent all-time lows for the past 2.5 years. Right? So FIGS is trying to take a complete new approach to not make new all-time lows, right? And take this new opportunity where we're seeing the overall broader markets moving lower, which allows kind of that money that's been pulled out, the money outflow that you see from market leaders and coming into these very, very kind of trash, just dog shit names, right? That's what we like to call it in trading, dog shit names, where all of these tickers that are really just haven't been following the overall markets, like the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. They've been continuously making lower lows, lower highs, and making new all-time lows, like FIGS here. They start to see an opportunity, a little opening here to try to squeeze out some sort of a kind of a catch-up price action, right? Quote-unquote catch-up price action, where it's trying to finally move inverse to its current price trend, which has been a large downtrend for months or for years, like FIGS. So along with the fact that we're seeing IWM or small caps and MDY or mid caps continuously seeing relative strength and very bullish momentum that's completely diverging away from this continued S&P 500 or NASDAQ or the overall broader market weakness, we're going to be seeing these very beaten down names seeing some very good option flow for the next couple of weeks or even days, maybe into the end of this week. And we should be seeing a continued push to the upside as all of these, dog shit or crappy names start to find some sort of their bullish mojo that they may have had a long time ago and try to quote unquote catch up to the markets as the markets are moving down. So again, these names will start to have inverse relationships, just like FIGS did today, as it literally kind of looked like it was following the small and mid cap ETFs, right? IWM, MDY, while completely moving inversely to, again, inverse relationship, right? Inversely to the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. All right, so FIGS is one of those very, very beaten down names. And another one that I want you guys to look at is Beyond. All right, this one's also a short squeeze favorite. All right, Beyond. This one has been really making all-time lows, excuse me, all-time lows, just like FIGS, right, consistently. And it almost made a new all-time low, I think, this week. Or actually, I think it did, right? 5.60 compared to... No, it was off by 2 cents. Wow. So this week again, well, it's been only 2 days here, or 2 days worth of trading. It almost made a new all-time low. So, excuse me, guys. So let me actually mark that here. All right, so we have a nice line in the sand here for BYND. So Beyond also is able to get back its quote-unquote bullish mojo that it may have had a long time ago and tries to formulate that inverted relationship to the overall markets, and also piggyback off of that IWM and MDY relative strength and bullish momentum. We should be seeing all of these very, very beaten down names seeing a sudden resurgence in their share price, and we should be seeing a lot more call flow coming in as well, right? So again, this is that complete market shift that we're about to see, and officially, most likely, we're going to be seeing another pop in the overall market vol or market volatility. So VIX is what you guys should be looking at, or the S&P 500 volatility index. So just as I've described earlier, VIX had a nice beaten down 2 days, including yesterday and today, and it seems to be trying to form a high, quote unquote, higher high But again, VIX is literally the inverse of the S&P 500. If you guys didn't know that, you guys should know that by now. But at the same time, it measures the volatility of the overall markets or the S&P 500. And so as we're starting to see this kind of big pop in VIX, you should know and be prepared that we are slowly getting towards that risk-off environment, especially for market leaders. And now this is where it's a slight difference compared to previous times where we're starting to be, being a bit more cautious about these risk-off environments, right? So what's different from the previous risk-off environments is that we can still be long on certain market caps and sectors, specifically IWM and MDY, or just again, one of those very, very beaten down names like FIGS, right? Or BYND or beyond. And so, it's one of those situations where you can be even short the S&P 500 or NASDAQ and also be long IWM or MDY, right? So it may seem like you're canceling your returns there, right? But again, the overall markets are weak, while the overall markets and overall market leaders are weak compared to the laggards or the IWM MDY market caps are being very, very strong, right? They're kind of becoming the quote-unquote leaders, and we've been seeing this for the past week and a half or so. So, as long as you guys can see this divergence that I've been mentioning for the past few months. So if you guys don't know, I've been talking about this potential for this to actually occur for the past couple of months. And the fact that we're actually seeing it and observing it with our own eyes is very satisfying to see. But at the same time, you guys should be on your toes and being ready to basically be able to understand where the market dynamics are constantly changing. And so far, the market leaders and the overall markets are showing weakness, while the market laggards and kind of the defensive sectors are getting a bit more relative strength and bullish momentum, and kind of taking that quote-unquote bullish mojo away from the broader markets or market leaders. Does that make sense? Right? So, this market shift is really just constantly showing us that it's here and it's here to stay. And today was officially one of those, literally a double confirmation that yes, that is happening. Right, the market literally clapped and said, yes, that is happening. Right? And even overnight futures markets, specifically RTY or the Russell 2000 futures, is literally showing really, really great relative strength compared to the S&P 500 futures or NASDAQ futures. Alright, so make sure you guys take note of this, and yeah, that is it for tonight, guys. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this comeback for my live streams. We're gonna be back with the regular Tuesdays and Thursdays live streams. However, I will have to change the time now. So I'm gonna have the same time for both of the two trading days of each week of Tuesday and Thursday. So write this down, guys. Officially, I will have for Tuesdays and Thursdays the live streams at 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right, so apologies if that's a little bit late for all my Eastern Standard folk, but due to kind of my own personal schedule changes, I will have to move the time over a little bit from our original times. But at the very least, we have a synonymous time for both of those two live stream trading days. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, again, we have the same time now, 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For all the central time zone people, I think it should be like 9:30 or 10:30, depending on where you guys live at, right? Okay, so make sure you guys remember that, and I'll see you guys on Thursday this week at, what was it again, guys? 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Alright, it feels great to be back. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed this very, well, hopefully it was an insightful, but most importantly, applicable live stream. So if that was truly the case, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. And if you guys aren't subscribed yet, I don't know why you wouldn't be, hit that subscribe button as well. But on top of that, click that notification bell icon to make sure that you guys are staying on top on all of my videos that I upload, and also to be notified whenever I am live. Alright, have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you guys on Thursday. Thank you so much for watching.